They were glad to see you fall, but your breakthrough is closer than you think. They were glad to see you fall, but what they did not know is that your breakthrough was being built in the same season they thought would destroy you. They watched you struggle and feel satisfied and felt satisfied. They saw your pain and secretly believed it proved something about you. They saw you tried they saw you tried, confused, quiet, and emotionally drained. And instead of feeling sorry, they felt powerful. They thought your fall was the final proof that they had won. But that is what made the pain even heavier. It was not only that you were suffering, it was the way they looked at your suffering like it was entertainment. It was the way they acted innocent while knowing they had contributed to your tears. It was the way they expected your difficult lessons to become your permanent condition. They wanted you embarrassed. They wanted you discouraged. They wanted you to lose confidence in yourself. They wanted you to believe that the pain, rejection, betrayal, and disappointment were the end of the story. But they were wrong. But they were wrong. What looked like falling was actually a breaking point. What looked like weakness was actually the moment your eyes started opening. What looked like silence was actually the beginning of a deeper strength. What looked like loss, loss, was creating room for something better. You were not okay at first. You cried in private. You questioned yourself. You wondered why people could hurt you and still act like they were innocent. You carried the weight of betrayal while trying to look normal in front of everyone else. Some days it felt, some days some days it felt like you were losing everything. You lost peace. You lost trust. You lost the version of yourself that used to believe people easily. You lost the energy to explain yourself to those who had already chosen to misunderstand you. But even in that low place, something inside you did not completely die. You still kept going. You still woke up. You still tried again. You still carried yourself through days when nobody understood how much strength it took just to continue. That is what they underestimated. They thought falling meant you were finished. They thought falling meant you were finished. They thought your pain meant you had no fight left. They thought your silence meant you had accepted defeat. They thought your tears meant you would never raise again. But your breakthrough was closer than they knew. You started learning from what broke you. You started seeing people clearly. You started understanding who was truly for you and who was only around to watch you struggle. You started realizing that not everyone would smile who smiles with you want to see you rise. That realization changed you. You stopped sharing your plans with people who secretly wanted them to fail. You stopped begging for support from people who were happy to see you down. You stopped looking for comfort in the same place that created your pain. You stopped giving access to people who only came close to measure your weakness. That was the beginning of your comeback. Quietly, you started rebuilding. You started focusing again. You started making small decisions that protected your peace. You started choosing discipline over distraction. You started choosing discipline over distraction, healing over reaction, and growth over bitterness. And they did not see that part. They only saw the fall. They did not see the lesson forming inside you. They did not see the strength growing under the pain. They did not see the new version of you being created in silence. Now your breakthrough is getting closer. The things that once controlled you are losing power. The people that are losing power. The people who once imitated you no longer look as big as they used to. The pain that once made you feel stuck is starting to turn into wisdom. The season that looked like failure is starting to reveal direction. And when your breakthrough comes, it will embarrass the people who celebrated your fall because they expected your struggle to be your identity. They expected your pain to keep you small. They expected your setback to silence you forever. They expected you to disappear under the weight of what or to disappear under the weight of happened. But under the weight of what happened. But you are not disappearing. You are healing. You are learning. You are becoming stronger. You are preparing for a life that will no longer be controlled by the options of people who were happy to see you hurt. That is what will shock them. That is what will shock them. Realize they judged you too early. They would realize they laughed before the story was finished. They will realize they celebrated a chapter, not the ending. They will realize the person they thought was falling was actually being redirected. Now, they may pretend they always believed in you. They may try to come close when your life started changing, when your life starts changing. They may act like they never enjoyed your suffering. They may speak kindly once they see you rising again. But you will remember. You will remember who was silent when you needed support. You will remember who watched you struggle and felt no concern. You will remember who disappeared when you were down. You will remember who only became interested when your strength started showing again. That memory will protect you. Your breakthrough will not only bring success, it will bring clarity. It will show you who deserves access to the next version of your life. It will teach you that some people only belong to the season where they revealed themselves. You do not need revenge. Your healing will speak. Your growth will speak. Your breakthrough will speak. Your peace will speak louder than every person who was glad to see you fall. They were glad to see you fall, but your breakthrough is closer than you think. And when you rise again, they will have to watch the same person they counted out because The counted out became the proof that they were wrong. Thank you for watching.